everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel, and this is your tip of the week. In my previous tip of the week, I talked about some of my other tips of the week that I've done in the past, and so many of you left a great response and you would like to hear more about the other tips of the week that I've done. So I'm going to be going over a few of those so you can get more helpful information about sewing. In my previous tip of the week, I mentioned hemming stitches, so that would help you get informed about the hemming stitches that are on your machine. But hemming isn't just folding it under and stitching across. There is a process you need to go through. For instance, is it a flared leg, a straight leg, or a tapered leg? Each one of those, you have to set the fabric up before you start stitching. So in my sewing tip of the week, number 25, I go over how to do that. Many of you are quilters. You tell me all the time about your different quilting projects, and I love hearing about it. Also, many of you want to learn about quilting, but you get frustrated with all the little pieces and it's so hard to keep track of them. So there is one simple solution that you can use, and that is making a board that looks like this. It's called a quilter's design board, and you can make it out of things you have around your home. So when you've cut a block up and look at all these little pieces, it's overwhelming. So it sticks to the fabric that's back here, and you can stand it up like this and put it against the wall, and you've got everything right there, so you know where all of those pieces go. So in my sewing tip number, let's see now, 27, you can learn how to make this quilter's design board. Again, make it any size you like. I'm sure you've noticed when you're looking at clothing or other things that are made out of fabric, hopefully you notice if the plaids or the stripes are matched. And if they're not, it doesn't look as professional. For instance, I don't need to put down Walmart, but when you go to Walmart and you buy a shirt and it's got stripes on it, probably 99 9/10 of the time, it's not matched up. So I talk about matching your plaids and stripes. You need to understand the markings on your fabric patterns so they can help you match everything together. So in my tip number 29, I talk about plaids and stripes. I love machine applique. I really enjoy doing it because it can be really simple, or you can make it very tedious depending on what you're trying to do. For instance, this is just apple that's all one piece that I cut out of fabric and applied it on. This is a flower. It's got 3 pieces in it. And then you have more complicated designs like this. So you need to understand the order that they go into. But it's not just used on quilts and on pot holders, it's also used on making decorative towels. So in my sewing tip of the week, number 31, I talk about the different methods you can do for doing machine applique. If you're a quilter, you're probably very familiar with a design block called 4-patch. This is a double 4-patch. You have 4-patch here, and then this is all a 4-patch. But it gets really tedious cutting out all these little squares. So in my sewing tip of the week, number 37, I show you a really fast cutting method for making the 4-patch design. It'll save you a lot of time. Now, I talk about this sewing notebook all the time. It is so valuable to it. If you're new to this channel and you're thinking, what's a sewing notebook? It's putting in notes about tips and tricks that you've learned how to do, or you have videos that you want to refer back to. You can keep all of that information, and I call it my stitching notes, and it's really easy to set up. So in my sewing tip of the week, number 10, I show you how to put this notebook together. It is really helpful. I also have cross-stitch tips, and I show really simple cross-stitch projects that you can do to help you learn how to get started in cross-stitch. Some are no-sew, or some have a little bit of sewing in it. For instance, this is just a small little cross-stitch design, and this is used to keep track or organize your sewing machine needles. So you have all of these different sections. You can even write in here the kind of needle it is. So you can keep track of all your hand needles or maybe some of your sewing machine needles. And then it just folds up and you can take it to a class. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tip of the week and that you learned something new. Now, all of these tips that I've talked about, the links will be listed below your YouTube screen in the description section. So just scroll down, click on Show More, and it will expand open and you will see all of those links. I'll also have a few beginners sewing projects listed below too. Now don't forget to follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.